Friday night game.
It certainly kind of felt like a conference series out there. I mean, it would have been a year ago, but how did it feel out there? Did it feel like a conference series?
100%. We talked about that before the game up here. Like, this is a great series to get us ready for what we're experiencing the weekends to come, and that energy was exactly what you thought it would be tonight.
First time you guys, this program has gone 7-0 since 2017. How does it feel for you to reach this mark, especially after a win like that?
Yeah, and I think early in that game we didn't play very well. Like, there were some things we would obviously want back, but the kids just kept playing. And once again, like, more worried about how they went about it, and they went about it the right way and kept playing. And it's better than not being 7-0.
More on that, just how did you like the approach of the guys tonight? I mean, their starter was tough to hit. You know, they got up early. You know, your pitcher, there's some clutch situations. They were to kind of pitch out of jams. I mean, how did you like just kind of the build up to being able to walk it off?
Yeah, and that's a really good pitcher. The Mink kid, he's a really good pitcher, and to punch us out the way he did early and to just stay with the at-bats. And you saw about the fourth, fifth inning, even though there was nothing to show for it, the at-bats started to get better and better and better. Then Australia gets him, and then fortunately he was out of the game eventually.
First time, speaking of Estrella, first time since 2011 that somebody has hit a home run in 4 consecutive games. Just what have you been seeing out of him over these past four games?
Well, he made some adjustments about a month ago, just kind of calming the swing down, and you saw him kind of settle in there and put the ball in play. That guy's just got as much power as anybody I've ever coached. So we were just trying to get him where he could put the ball in play a little bit more often, and he's starting to do that.
So he had 8 home runs a season ago. So you knew he had some power, but he had 4 home runs in basically 2 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, did you envision this like in preseason? Like, was he hitting like this?
About a month ago, it started to look like that, and like, look where the home runs are. One's to left center, to almost center, to the other side of center the other night, and to right field. Like, that's a gift. It's nice to see.
With hits being at a premium contending to the batters, what was Matt and Lex doing differently that maybe helped them get to the 3-hit mark for both of them?
Well, I think them being left-handed helps against who the guys they were facing. Like, just the stuff looks a little different when you're standing in the left-handed box against those guys, especially with the slider heavy, and they hung in there.
Talk about how there's relievers, how the bullpen was able to kind of shut it down. And there was a couple times it was like maybe there should have been a strikeout, but had to kind of pitch out of James then for Chase to come in. And the scouts looked like they were paying a close eye on him tonight for him to shut it down for the final 2.
Correct, and I think the use of 4 guys. Like, you got 4 different guys in short. I don't think they scored after Vespi's 5th inning, right? So Vespi gives up the 2, and then Vespi goes out and gets that 0, which was huge. And then Castellano to Kramer to Vic, all different looks, and then Chase has been doing. That's what he's been doing since I've been here. Everything's locked in. The command of the stuff. The stuff's always been there. I've seen that kid pitch since he was 18 years old. The stuff's always been there. It's the command of the stuff that's been the evolution for him.
How about as far as how is Ben's performance starting the game?
Wonderful. Like, when we left to go to FAU on Tuesday, we didn't know if he was going to pitch on Friday. That guy was as sick as a dog, and Kaylee and Dr. Kramer got him ready to go. As we got to Wednesday, Thursday, he was like, "Coach, I feel great." And for him to go out there, we talked about taking him out in the 4th just with the sickness, and he wanted the ball again, and he went out and did that in the 5th, and that was outstanding.
In the bottom of the 9th is kind of what was kind of the decision to Kluska to round to kind of trying to be a little bit aggressive, see if maybe you could
Yeah, and I think at that situation you're trying to end the game and force the thing. And if the guy made a great play, like to ball fake right there. It's a gamble. If he throws the ball, I think Previs is safe, and Mikey's probably safe at home. In that type of game, like, you're just trying to do anything to score.
Ended up having a couple of errors there. Just what are your thoughts as far as like just the team's feeling at this point, because you picked up a couple?
I think it's been outstanding at this point, and I think both those guys, like Lex, if he had that back, is going to catch that ball 99% of the time, and Nino got caught up on a ball that kind of top spin on him, but he's been playing outstanding defense.
How do you just kind of feel about this series against South Florida? I mean, the 2 schools have obviously been rivals. You're very familiar with that. Different leagues now. I know you're doing the weekend series this year. I don't know, maybe next year too. Do you kind of like playing USF on an annual basis?
I think it works for both of us. It's just being so close, and it kind of helps with the travel, and it's a good series. And I think both Billy and I want to play this as long as we can.
I believe you've had experience when you were at UCF before playing against South Florida. What does it mean to you to get this win against them with you now being the head coach?
Yeah, it's special. We talked about, like, it is a rivalry game, and it's fun for our guys, and college baseball needs this, and we look forward to this.
Your lineups have been pretty consistent to begin this season. Not a lot of experimentation or substitutions. That kind of by design, knowing that you kind of have a short window to get ready for conference play?
Yeah, and I think we had the whole fall and the early spring. So like those guys earned the opportunity to get out there and get in the groove and kind of figure things out, especially those first 5 or 6 hitters. You're trying to let those guys settle in, and it's really hard if you're just pulling them in and out every other game. So we're letting those guys kind of roll.
Time for 1 or 2 more.
Coming into the night, you guys lead the nation in batting average and strikeout to walk ratio. Just what's been kind of what kind of would you say helped the team get to that point?
Well, I think just the work that Noberto and Ted do on a daily basis, preparing those guys, and like I said before, like the less than 2 strike hitting, being able to handle that at bat, and then you get to the 10th inning and Brate's down 0-2, and Lex is in a 2-strike count, and they both battle to get one gets a walk, and one just finds a way to put the ball in play, and you win. Like that's the ball in play is at a premium in college baseball, and we've obviously improved in that.
Now that you've been able to coach these guys through real games, what's the personality of this team?
I think it's a loose group, but a focused group. Like they're not. You could see in that dugout there was no panic. They were just playing. It wasn't even going good, and they were just playing and stuck with it. I think they enjoy playing. I think they enjoy being around each other. It's a fun group to coach.
What does this team need to do to clinch the series either tomorrow?
Well, it's going to be something like this again. Like we just got to play UCF baseball, a fundamental sound baseball, and get after and hopefully score a few more runs.
Appreciate
That's
it.
what Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See you later,
guys.
Coach.